Hi everybody, my name is Anne and welcome to Days to Fitness. Today I have a nice routine for you for shoulder pain. Let's go ahead and begin, but before we get started, you're going to want to find yourself a nice resistance band. Our first movement that we have is a nice 1-minute shoulder warm-up. So let's go ahead and do that. Find a comfortable place to stand. Go ahead and roll those shoulders out a little bit. And we're going to take one arm, place it over our head, bend that elbow behind our head. Now the most important thing is that we're not bending forward to get it there. You really want to keep that back nice and straight, pulling that chin upright. And then we're going to place the other hand on that opposite elbow and gently pull it, giving our triceps a nice stretch. Extending our shoulders, breathing nice and deep into this. Good job. After a few deep breaths, we're going to release and then switch sides. Again, making sure we have nice open posture, keeping our chin up and our elbows open out in front of us. Chest is nice and open. Breathing again for a few deep breaths, focusing on relaxing our shoulders and arms. From here, we're going to release. Feel free to move your shoulders or your arms around a little bit, and then we're going to take one arm, place it out in front of us, cross our body with it, take that opposite hand, and pull it even closer to our body, keeping that arm nice and long and extended. You're going to feel this nice stretch in your shoulder. Breathe in nice and deeply. And after a couple deep breaths there, we're going to go ahead and switch sides. Again, keeping that arm extended, pulling it gently across your body. Good. Now we're going to take our hands, interlace them together, flip those palms out in front of us, and push. Really extending those arms, rounding out our back. You're going to feel a nice stretch in the back shoulder now. Good. Feeling that good stretch. After a few deep breaths here, we can go ahead and relax. And let's go ahead and just do a couple shrugs, lifting the shoulders up and down. Loosening them up after that nice warm-up. Good. Now what I want you to do is either grab a towel, a broomstick, or you can even use the resistance band that I asked you to grab at the beginning of this video. And what we're going to do is we're going to do what are called shoulder dislocations. So we're going to hold our broom or a towel or a band right in front of us, shoulder width apart or slightly wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to extend our arms. And from here, we're just going to gently rotate that band or that broomstick down and up, keeping the arms nice and straight, bringing those shoulders into a nice 180-degree rotation from the lower area up. And we're going to keep our core nice and tight as we do this, breathing in through the whole motion and keeping it nice and controlled and smooth. After several repetitions of that, we're going to move on to what are called wall angles. You're going to find yourself a wall. We're going to place our hands into like goalposts like this, so our elbows are making nice 90-degree angles. Now as I get up against the wall right here, you're going to make sure your back is nice and flat, your hands are nice and flat, and in a controlled motion, you're extending those elbows up, keeping your forearms and hands up against the wall, bringing those hands over your head as much as possible, and then while you're keeping your arms on the wall, bring them back down into that starting position as goalposts. That's going to be one repetition, so you want to make sure you control it the whole way, keeping your hands and wrists on the wall the whole time, and then as you come back down, bringing your forearms to the wall as much as possible. If you can't extend your arms, that's okay. Keep your elbows slightly bent, bringing them over your head, and making sure you're breathing the entire time. I like to inhale as I go up, exhale as I come down. Good. After several repetitions on there, we're going to grab our band again, and we're just going to do some band pull aparts. And from here, we're going to extend our arms again in front of us, shoulder width apart, grabbing the band just like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, squeeze that core, making sure it's nice and tight, and then pull that band apart, keeping your arms nice and straight but not locked out. We're also going to control it coming back to the center again, so it's going to look something like this. Inhale or exhale, and then come back with the opposite breath. So, and controlling it on the way back. Make sure you keep that core nice and tight. Make sure the band is nice and controlled as you do this. It doesn't have to be anything hard or difficult. If you're finding it too difficult, walk your band out. If you're finding it not difficult enough, walk your band in. Last but not least, the movement we're gonna do next is the shoulder rotations or external shoulder rotations. So what we're gonna do is use our bands, anchoring our bands. You can either tie this to a pole if you're doing this at the park, or to your door handle, or if you don't have that, I like to just wrap it around my hand and hold my hand as an anchor like this. Now the most important thing is the one that I'm wrapping my hand around, that is going to be my anchor. This band over here is just going to be what I'm using to do my external shoulder rotations. And I'm just holding it about shoulder width apart right here in front of me like this. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lock this hand down and then just gently exhale as I open and rotate the opposite arm away from me. So the most important thing is that this elbow is in a nice 90-degree angle. This is basically the motion. It's coming from in towards the belly, rotating out like a lever as far as you can go, just externally rotating that elbow and that shoulder before controlling it back in. So when you have a band in your hand and it's anchored down, it's gonna look a little something like this. Rotating out. It gets harder as you rotate, but control it back in. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn slightly so you can see this. Keep that core nice and tight. Keep your posture nice and straight. And you're gonna do this for several reps on both sides. So again, make sure that now you're switching sides and doing the other, because you don't want to end up lopsided, right? So that's our routine for shoulder pain. I hope you all enjoyed this video so much. Again, my name is Anne, and thank you so much for watching here on Days to Fitness.